Today in The Joy of Editing, we're continuing our journey through all filters in Nik Color Efex, and we're taking a look at Film Efex Faded, a great way to give your photos a soft, washed film look with gentle color and contrast. Hello everyone and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Today we're continuing our journey through all the filters in Nik Color Efex, and we're focusing on Film Efex Faded. This filter pulls back contrast and saturation just a bit to give your photos a softer, washed film look. Great when you want a gentler, more atmospheric mood instead of a punchy, high contrast edit. And here's a quick heads up. If you're thinking about Nik Collection 8 or any DxO software, you can grab 15% off new purchases with my code Dave Kelly. Links are in the description and you can try any app free first. If you use my links, I earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Thanks for supporting the channel. I have several examples for you today, and I thought I'd start out with this image of a cowboy. And I thought this would be a great image to add a nice soft faded look to. Now, the thing I really love about Color Efex is it helps us to get creative with our photography. In other words, we don't just have to have standard photographs. We can kind of spruce them up with faded looks, high contrast looks. In this case today, let's play around with faded looks and let's get creative. I have the Film Efex Faded filter loaded up in my filter stack over here. It's shut off right now. Let me go ahead and click right here and turn it on. Now, these are the default settings of the filter right here, so we're going to play around with it. But the first thing I want to show you is film type. Now, if you click this drop down, you can hover through all of the different film types and find one that you want. This is a good starting point, I think, for this filter, and it looks like we have 12 different Film Efex types. Now for this one, I ended up using the very last one, number 12. So I'll click on this, and now we're going to start at the top, and I like to work from the top down. We'll start with brightness, then contrast, saturation. We'll go down through. Starting with brightness, I think I'll lower the brightness a little bit to maybe right about here. And now contrast, I think the contrast is good. We may come back and look at that later. Now for saturation, I do want to reduce the saturation. I think it'll look much better because I'm going for that faded look. So let's pull back on the saturation. And I think I'm going to go to maybe right there, minus 26%. I really like that. And now we have haze. So haze will add a haziness to the image. Right now it defaults at 50%. If you move it to the left, you can remove the haze, move it to the right, increase the haze. So add as much or as little haze as you want. And I think I'm going to take mine to maybe right there, 19%. Now the vignette. Okay, right now we're at 33%, so I can increase the vignette to the right, make the vignette lighter, or go to the left and make the vignette darker. And I think I want mine right here at minus 14%. I think that looks good. There's no right or wrong here. It's whatever you like. And now we come to one of my favorites. You may hate grain per pixel, but here's grain per pixel. Drag it the whole way to the right. You remove all grain, and then drag it to the left, and the grain gets more and more intense. Like that's way too much. But we have all this range in here that we can use. And I think I want mine maybe right about here should be pretty good. I like that little bit of extra grain in there. Maybe I'll just back it off a little bit, but I want to make sure you can see it. And now we have film strength. So if you take this the whole way up, that's the maximum strength of that film. And of course, you can back it off and just add as little or as much as you want in here. And I think I'll take mine to right about here. Looks pretty good. Now, we've already chose our film type. Now, you could go through here and choose some different film types now that you've made some adjustments, but I'm going to leave mine right here on 12. And now here's an important slider, the shadow protection slider. We can protect our shadows because the faded look is a low contrast look, and when we move the shadow slider to the right, we're protecting those shadows. So we can make adjustments here and get this to look the way we like it. And for this image, I think I'm going to go to right about here. Looks pretty good. And then we have highlight protection. So if I take this off, you can see you got to watch. You may blow out highlights, so you can protect your highlights by dragging this to the right. And I'm going to take mine over to maybe right about here. This is an important adjustment here, opacity. So you can blend some of the original image in. So let's take the opacity of the whole way off. There's our original image, and then just start to build it up slowly. To me, this is a really good tip, and just add as much or as little as you want. And maybe somewhere right about here looks good. Now let me shut this off. Here's before, here's after. And of course, you can left click and hold on the compare button. There's before, there's after, and of course you have split screen. You can slide this over. There's before, there's after. And then of course we have this button. If you click it, this is side compare, original on top, the affected image on the bottom, or click right here, the original on the left, the affected on the right. Click this button again and we go back to fit the screen. So I really like this. So here's before, here's after. Now let's move on to our second example. Now let's try it on a landscape. Right now you're seeing the original. Let's go ahead and turn on Film Efex Faded. This is the default setting. We start at film type 1. Let's look at some of the different film types and see which one we like the best. And you know what? I think I like 3. Now I know it looks really bad here, but don't stop here because you got to experiment. But I'm loving the overall colors of the image, so that's what I'm really going for, what I'm looking at here when I chose 3. I think I'll reduce the brightness to maybe right about here. I'll leave the contrast as it is. I don't usually touch it unless I want to give it a little less or a tiny bit more. I want to reduce the saturation to maybe right there. Let's reduce some of that hazy look. Right about there should be good. I want to reduce the vignette. I want to go a little bit to the left, make it a little darker. And I think to right there. I'll leave the green at 400. I think I'll reduce the film strength a little bit to here, 62%. I do want to protect my shadows a bit. Not too much, maybe right about here. And now I definitely need more protection on the highlights, so I'll drag this to the right and I'll take it right there at 50%. Yeah, that tames down the highlights a bit. And now I'll pull back on the opacity. I'll take it the whole way off and build it up slowly and stop where I think it looks good. And I think maybe right about here. Let me shut this off. Here's before and here's after. I like it. It fades it out a bit, makes it a little bit more dreamier. I like it. I think I might add a bit more saturation. Not much, just a tiny bit, maybe right there. Let me shut this off. Here's before, here's after. And now we'll go to the final image. And now for this last image, it's a high contrast image. Let's turn it into a lower contrast image. To take it to a new direction, we'll think outside the box. I'll turn on Film Efex Faded. Now these are the default settings and already it looks really good. Let's go and find a film type here. A lot of cool ones in here. It's hard to pick on this one. So many great choices here, but for this one, I'm going with number 4. I think I'm going to leave the brightness where it is. And I think I'll decrease the contrast on this one. I normally don't touch this, but on this one, I think I do. Because this one started out as a very high contrast image. And right there, minus 24%. I think I'll lower the haze a bit. And maybe right about here should be good. Let me lower the vignette. A little bit less light, but I still want to keep it light to maybe right about here. That looks really good. I'll leave the grain per pixel the way it is. I think the film strength is good. Let's pull it up. Yeah, maybe right around there. I'm going to keep it pretty high. Film type I already have. My shadows, do I want to protect those any? Nah, I'm going to leave that off. I think the highlights look good and I like the overall opacity. You know, we could pull this back and blend it in, but you know what? I'm going to leave it the whole way up. Nah, maybe I'll just pull it back a little bit. Maybe to right there. I really like this image. Let's go with the split screen or split compare. There's the before, and there's the after. Both really great looks. High contrast, low contrast. They're both cool. I like them both. Well, there it is, everyone. That was the Film Efex Faded filter found in Nik Color Efex. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Click the bell notification icon. Click all so that you'll receive all notifications. And then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll get notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. And I will see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing.